Hi there, it's Janice Thompson from JazzleDazzleCrafts.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator and I work in Scotland. Today I find myself in the sad position of having to make some sympathy cards. I need at least 2 to send today, and I've realised that it would be much easier if I just made a batch of them, because I've come to that age where sadly they're becoming more necessary and I need to use them more frequently. So as I was doing this one, I thought actually it would be quite nice to show you the technique that I'm using here. It is embossing, but I'm using my Stamparatus to get this composition that I've got here. This is not entirely my idea. That's something I saw on Pinterest. The picture I saw on Pinterest was by Kat Craig of Cat Loves Paper. And the stamps she used were from a different company. They weren't Stampin' Up stamps, but that, you know, the technique that she showed and the sort of composition that she's used, I have definitely been heavily influenced by. So I wanted to acknowledge Kat before I started. So and if you want to have a look at her work, her blog is called Cat Loves Paper. So thank you. I'm just going to pan out a wee bit. So of course I went in, didn't I? And just show you. Now I'm going to try. That's as far out. You're not going to see every single bit because obviously my Stamparatus opens out and what have you. But this is one of the techniques where Stamparatus is actually very helpful. So what I'm going to show you is using your Stamparatus, but also using doing heat embossing as well. So there's a couple of things in here now. Because I'm using 2 stamp sets to do this video, I'm using Pressed Flowers, which is one, I believe that is actually one of the hostess gifts. So if you host a party and your sales are £150 or more, then you can choose to buy one of these sets at a very, very reduced price. And the other stamp set I'm using is one of the stamps from the Better Together. Now this is a 2-part stamp set. These are very handy. Of course my other Better Together probably isn't handy. That's what always happens whenever you want to show something. I didn't remember to get it out so that I could show you on the video, and maybe I have too many stamp sets because I can't see. I thought I'll just get it out and show you the other part of this. Maybe I'll show you that on another video, or just go and look up the catalogue. It's in the main catalogue and you'll see all the stamps. But there are 2 double stamp sets that are really, really handy, are Better Together and Special Celebrations. They are really handy for lots of occasions. And I'm still scanning my stamp sets and wondering why I can't see it. Maybe I've got it out somewhere doing something else, but it's certainly not coming out at me just now. How frustrating is that when you want to show? Okay, Janice, concentrate on the task in hand. I will show you when I find it. It might jump out at me while we're doing this video. How annoying. I'm keeping reading all my stamp sets. Because if it's not there, where is it? Do you know where it is? Does anyone know where it is? It's just... Okay, so these are the 2 stamp sets I'm using. Too much distraction here. Okay, so what I've done is I've cut I cut 4 card bases from Thick Whisper White. So I've already made 2 of the cards up, but I thought for the other 2 I'll show you kind of how the Stamparatus helps you when you're doing batches. So 2 blank cards, they're just half a sheet of A4 then folded in half, and 2 basic grey layers, and they are 10.1 centimetres by 14.4 centimetres, so it just get a very thin white border to frame that when it's done. I'm using my Stamparatus. I don't need my foam pad because the two stamp sets I'm using are red rubber, so I don't need the foam because they've got foam incorporated into them. Now I have made this little device from card, and it's just a right angle of cut from here. I use my trimmer to do that, and this is just 1 inch thick, and I'm popping this in, and you'll see why I'm using this to do this particular composition. So I have, I need to, because I'm doing embossing, I need my emboss buddy. So I'll just do both cards at the same time. So just that one there, that one, and the embossing buddy just gets rid of any static, because the embossing powder would stick to that, and you don't want it stick. You only want it sticking to where you've stamped with your Versamark. So, so I'm going to use the top plate first to place my stamps. Now I want to do it slightly different to the last one. I'm kind of looking to just change the composition slightly, but obviously, you know, as you okay, and then I'm going to bring this over and pick them up. Oh, I've let it slip, so ooh. Start again, Janice. Maybe should have used my magnet. Yeah. Your Stamparatus does have magnets to keep things in place. Maybe I should have, but I haven't, so I'm not going to change that now. So just keep that in place. Bring it down, and that's that. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that part on both cards, and then we'll show you the next part. Okay, so I've got my whoops, here's my buddy, got my Versamark ink. I'm inking up the stamps. Of course, they're out of your vision, but I think you know how to stamp up pads. Now look at this, I've got a brand new Versamark pad, all nice and clean, because I was playing with ink and clear embossing and doing something that looks a bit like enameling, but I've not quite mastered it yet. I'm still playing. But look what I did to my Versamark pad. It's a complete and utter mess. So I am actually going to wash that whole pad with soapy water and dry it completely, and then I'm going to re-ink it with a re-inker. So hence the need for, while I'm doing that process, is to get a new one. So anyway, I digress as usual. But anyway, these are inked up. Bring them over. We've done that bit. Then I'm going to take away that bit. Of course, I could put the other card in and do this bit, but just in case we run out of film. So turn that round without the inch border. Ink up my stamps. And because I've taken away the border and pulled the card back into the corner here, you'll see it just puts a few, just less of the stamps onto this part, the top corner. So I didn't want quite as much of the flowers on the top corner. Do you see what I mean? So it's just got a little bit, just like that composition there, which I really like. And then I need to place my with Sympathy, but obviously I want it round the right way. And of course, once you've got this set up, you can do as many cards as you want using this system. So I want the with Sympathy kind of, I mean, you could do that, but I just, you know, so that it's in line with the space you've got, but I just want it straight there. I'm really keeping this card quite simple and uncomplicated. Okay, that's that. My pen's out of the way. And then ink up my... These are quite pretty even if they're just left watermarked. That's really like that. You could let that ink dry and it's almost like tone on tone, but it's just like a watermark, which is one use for that ink. So that's really nice, you know, you could just do it like that. And pop that one to dry and show you, just because I've now got my stamp set up, I can just bring in, or actually what I could have done was just do that bit first with Sympathy, and so yeah, because this is the top. No, it's not done. I need to think. Right, anyway, we'll do this bit that doesn't need the border first. Pop that one down. Don't know if my brain's properly in gear today. That's the top of my card. So I want my with Sympathy up the right way, so yeah. Pop that in there. And then I'll put my border in there. And you soon get, once you've kind of thought it out, you would soon get into the rhythm. And then basically just ink up those flowers. Make sure you put the lid on your pad before you start bringing out embossing powder. There we go. And so do you see the difference that your Stamparatus makes to a job like this? So I could go on and do several. I like the technique so much I might actually make some birthday cards or something like that, but use coloured embossing on a brighter coloured card. Do something a bit more cheery. But I do like the method. So put that out of the way. I'm going to bring in some scrap paper. And put both my cards on it. And we'll get my white embossing powder here. You've seen that alright, so I'm just sprinkling that over where I've inked up. Emptied the tub, but no worries, because sorry about the wee break there. That was a call from my son in Australia, so I decided to take it. So I've just left everything as it was, so let's see what happens. So maybe maybe not quite enough. Might be too late now because the ink will have dried. Just flicking off. That's okay, it has helped there. and just check for bits where the powder is that you don't want it. What I have is a watercolour brush, a paintbrush, a very fine, and then I can just brush off any wee bits of powder that have strayed where I don't want them to be. Right, so I think that one looks fine, and this one I'll just sugar off. This one's not bad. There's a bit at the side here, but it's actually where there were some flowers, so just maybe just that looks better. I'm realising that spot's wrong here as well, just a bit at the side. So have a good look till you're happy that you've got no stray bits. It's not a big deal, but you know, it's worth taking the time because it just gives a nicer finish. Putting that out the way, and that one looks okay too. So I'm just thinking this bottom corner here's not as good as it could be, so just, if you don't feel you've got enough coverage from the powder, pop it in again. I'm just going to take that off altogether there. I think it might have been a leaf, but because the ink's dried it wasn't sticking properly, so I'll just clear that. So put my cards over out of the way just now. Oops. Excuse me, I seem to have picked up some powder on the way over. Right, I'm just going to pop this back into its container. As I say, that's why I use the scratch paper with a big fold in it, and that's so that gather the powder. And put it back, and as you can see, there's not much missing from the tub at all. So that's that bit. So now it's just get the heat tool in. So if you have sensitive hearing and you want to turn your volume down, that might be something you want to do right now. I don't want to hurt anyone. And just, what I'm doing is warming up my heat tool, because the more you heat up the card, the more it will warp. So if I get the heat tool to the temperature I want before I start offering it to the card, that does work better. So I'm just waiting until it gets a nice rosy glow. And don't look too close or you'll burn your face or your eyes or worse. So I'm just put this on and then we'll do a bit of heating. Okay, so now we want to just pick it up and try and see how it looks creamy while it's a powder, and then once it's melted it's a much brighter white. So that's the embossing, and look, the white on the basic grey looks pretty good, I think. That one round that way. And then it's just really a matter of adhering that to the card, and I'm going to use my snail to do that. So it's just basically open my snail up. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's that one. And do the same on this one. So as you can see, obviously I could do this with half a dozen or 10 or 12 and make myself a batch. It would be quite quick. It is quite a quick and easy card if you don't stop to speak to your son in Australia, but did take quite a big break there. But oh, I missed a bit on this card, just excuse me while I get the heat tool in again. Don't know quite how I'm going to manage this because I've already got the adhesive on. We'll see. Just it looked duller than the rest, so I realised that the powder hadn't melted properly. And the same up there, done the same. I've made a bit of a boo-boo there. This is handmade, not factory made. Obviously you're not filming a video, you can just take a bit longer to check everything. And I've done it upside down. I'm having a good day. I'm not even going to try and take that one off. This one's got a bit that's not melted properly as well. My goodness. Obviously you just take your time, you're not filming, so obviously I was a wee bit distracted by talking to family. Right, let's get this one up the right way. I will, what I'll do is just trim the other one down, and I just purely did that for your entertainment, so you can laugh at me. A lot of people say it's reassuring to watch a video with mistakes in, so here I did that just to reassure you. So these are the two I made earlier. Thankfully are up the right way. Okay, and then this one is round the wrong way. But what we'll do is I will trim that. I'm not going to try and pull it off because, well, I can't. I'll try later. I'll have a play with it. But if I can't get it to come off neatly, then what I'll do is just trim it down and put it on another blank card. But we'll put that out the way. So here we go. Do you know, a bit of a batch job here. So, some sympathy cards. You know, we don't really want to have to send them, but do you know, it's part of life. It's part of humanity that we're not here forever. So, you know, we do lose loved ones, and a wee card is something you can, you know, you can easily do just to let your friends know and family you're thinking about them at difficult times. Anyway, thanks for sticking with me. Please press subscribe underneath, and if you press the bell icon you'll get notified when I bring out a new video. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon.